Have you ever felt pressured in a spiritual setting? Yearning for a deeper connection with God is a beautiful thing, but it's important to be aware of potential manipulation. Saint Pio, known for his piety and discernment, offered timeless wisdom on navigating spiritual guidance. In this video, we'll explore 7 signs of spiritual manipulation from a Christian perspective, inspired by the teachings of Padre Pio. Let us know in the comments below, have you ever encountered a situation that made you feel uneasy on your spiritual journey? While inspired by Saint Pio's emphasis on discernment, these signs are general guidelines and don't directly reflect his specific words. Have you ever felt like your spiritual growth was being controlled by someone else? Our faith is a deeply personal journey, and it's important to find guidance that empowers rather than manipulates. Saint Pio, a humble Capuchin friar, was known for his deep connection to God and his ability to spot insincerity. While not an exhaustive list, here are 7 signs of spiritual manipulation to watch out for, inspired by the wisdom of Padre Pio. Sign 1. Fear and obligation versus God's grace and free will. In our Christian walk, we seek a deep and abiding love for God, a love that draws us closer and compels us to live a holy life. This love shouldn't be based on fear or obligation, but on the incredible grace He offers us. Padre Pio, a beacon of Christ's love, emphasized this beautifully. While there are no documented quotes directly attributed to him on this specific point, his life and teachings embodied this message. The Bible reminds us in Ephesians 2:8-9 that for by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, so that no one can boast. Our salvation is a gift from God, received through faith, not earned through fear or manipulation. Similarly, 1 Corinthians 10:31 tells us, so whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Our actions should be a natural overflow of our love for God, not a response to pressure or threats. Healthy Christian guidance should nurture our love for God and empower us to make our own choices in faith. Does your spiritual leader focus on God's amazing grace and the freedom it brings? Or do they emphasize rules and regulations that create a sense of obligation? Do you feel you can grow closer to God on your terms? Or are you pressured to conform to a specific mold? Sign 2. Isolation and secrecy versus openness and accountability. Imagine a healthy relationship built on trust and transparency. Now consider a situation where information is controlled and outside connections are discouraged. The Christian faith thrives on community and fellowship. Padre Pio, despite his moments of solitude in prayer, was known for his deep connection with his spiritual brothers and the wider community. The Bible emphasizes the importance of community in verses like Hebrews 10:25, which instructs us not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. A healthy spiritual leader will encourage you to connect with other believers, share your struggles, and celebrate your victories. Isolation can be a breeding ground for manipulation. Does your spiritual leader encourage you to build relationships with other Christians, or do they discourage outside connections? Are you free to discuss your doubts and questions openly, or is there a sense of secrecy and shame surrounding certain topics? Sign 3. Financial exploitation versus stewardship and generosity. Our faith calls us to be generous stewards of God's blessings. However, There's a stark difference between joyful giving and financial pressure. Padre Pio, despite living a simple life, understood the importance of responsible resource management for his monastery. The Bible teaches us about responsible giving in verses like Proverbs 21:20, "Whoever loves good seeks favor, but whoever seeks evil encounters it." True generosity comes from a place of love and gratitude, not manipulation or guilt trips. A healthy spiritual leader will encourage you to give according to your means and focus on the spiritual growth that comes with generosity, not the amount donated. Does your spiritual leader promote a lifestyle of financial giving that feels unsustainable or guilt-inducing? Do they focus on the blessings that come with responsible stewardship, or is the emphasis solely on increasing donations? Sign 4. Unhealthy dependence versus nurturing personal growth. Our faith journey is a lifelong process of learning and growing closer to God. However, a healthy relationship with a spiritual leader shouldn't create a state of dependence. Padre Pio, though revered for his wisdom, encouraged his followers to develop their own personal relationship with Christ. The Bible highlights the importance of individual growth in verses like to Timothy 2:15. Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed. Rightly handling the word of truth, spiritual guidance should equip you to discern God's will for your life, not make decisions for you. Does your spiritual leader encourage you to study Scripture, pray independently, and develop your own understanding of faith? Or do they create a sense of dependence where you feel lost or incapable without their constant direction? Sign 5. Moral compromises versus upholding Christian values. Living a Christian life means following God's teachings and striving for moral purity. There's no room for spiritual leaders who endorse or downplay sinful behavior. Padre Pio, known for his unwavering commitment to his vows, would never have condoned compromising Christian values. The Bible is clear about upholding moral standards in verses like Romans 12:9. Let love be genuine, abhor what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. A true spiritual leader will hold you accountable to Christian principles and guide you towards living a holy life. Does your spiritual leader turn a blind eye to immoral behavior, or do they encourage you to live according to God's will? Do they create a safe space for you to discuss moral struggles, or do you feel pressure to conform to a certain image? Sign 6. Disrespect for boundaries versus healthy relationships. Just like any relationship, a healthy spiritual connection requires respect for boundaries. Padre Pio, despite his popularity, maintained a sense of personal space and encouraged appropriate interactions. The Bible instructs us on treating others with respect in verses like 1 Peter 3:15. In your hearts honor Christ the Holy Lord as your God, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect. A spiritual leader should respect your time, privacy, and emotional well-being. Does your spiritual leader listen to your concerns and respect your boundaries? Do they create a safe space where you feel comfortable expressing your needs, or do they disregard your personal limitations? Sign 7. Lack of humility versus true guidance. Genuine spiritual leaders understand they are flawed vessels used by God. Humility is a cornerstone of Christian faith. Padre Pio, despite his miraculous gifts, never saw himself as above others. The Bible reminds us of the importance of humility in Philippians 2 to 3. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. A true spiritual leader will guide you with humility, focusing on God's work, not their own importance. Does your spiritual leader come across as arrogant or self-serving? Do they focus on their own achievements or emphasize God's power working through them? In conclusion, our faith journey is a beautiful path of growth and discovery. By staying alert to the signs we've discussed and relying on the wisdom of the Bible, we can navigate spiritual guidance with confidence. Remember, a true spiritual leader empowers you, uplifts you, and guides you closer to God. If something feels off, don't be afraid to trust your instincts and seek guidance elsewhere. We hope this video has been helpful in your spiritual walk. If you are new to our channel, consider subscribing to join our faith-based community. Click the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the content, and share it with someone who might need to see this message. We love hearing from you, so leave a comment below. We read and respond to all of them. Do you have any other topics you'd like us to explore in future videos? Let us know in the comments. While you're here, take a moment to explore our channel and see what other content we offer. If you feel called to support our channel and the charitable work we do, you can check out the Super Thanks option next to the like and share buttons. Every bit helps. You can also get in touch with us directly through email if you have any questions. Out of curiosity, where in the world are you joining us from? How did you find our channel, and what part of today's discussion resonated most with you? We encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below, but remember to be respectful, mindful, and loving towards one another. Negative or hateful comments will be deleted. Growing closer to Christ is a lifelong pursuit, and living according to His teachings is the ultimate goal. Remember, before you click comment, take a moment to reflect. There's power in silence, and if something doesn't resonate with you, you can simply choose to move on. May the blessings of God be with you all, always.